About Corey Valade mentioned last week that he was going to a big race that paid $100,000 to win for sport compact cars and Thundercars and all that stuff. Kokomo Speedway is where he's at. 175 cars have shown up to this race. Time trials tonight. Corey Valade is currently 24th fastest out of 175. That's impressive. We'll keep our eye on that one. You know how much that race pays, Dennis Mokan? The race that Corey Valade is down there trying to qualify for, Kokomo, $100,000. Pretty impressive. So we'll see how that goes. Wish him all the best at that one. All right, now we are going to decide the 15-lap Sundance Leisure Thundercar feature here at Can-Am. Jared Gilson going for 3 in a row. And it's going to be Collin Bauter on the pole in the 19, along with 22, Tony Frezzo, row number 2. Jared Gilson, 22J in the 60 of Francis White. Row 3, OJ White in the 94, 3, David Rasmussen, and Colby Hibbard in the 28 will complete it. Final feature of the night here with the good folks at Sundance Leisure. Again, we'll be right back here on Monday with the Short Track Super Series. Gloves are off 51. Part of the North region for the big block, small block modifieds and the STSS North Regional Series as well. Sundance Leisure Thundercars will be on hand for an open show. Looking forward to that one. As we are set to go for this one here. 15 laps is the issue. And we'll be ready for green in just a moment. Can Jared Gilson go 3 in a row? We are going to find out as they work their way through turn number 3 and 4. Green lights are on and we're underway. Into turn number 1 and 2 goes the field, and Jared Gilson jumps on the lead down the back straightaway. Francis White's going to follow right in his tire tracks as they hit the back stretch to turn number 3 and 4. Tony Frezzo trying to move up as well as he holds a slim lead in the point standings coming into tonight. Down to the line, Jared Gilson in front. Francis White back there to the runner-up spot. Tony Frezzo still third as they work into turn number 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. Gilson has been one of the best drivers in this division. Got 2 in a row last week after Corey Valade was found just a bit light on the scales after last week's feature win that you saw right there on Dirt Track Digest TV. And right now he holds the lead. Francis White, Tony Frezzo, the top 3. Then it is Collin Bauter into 4th. OJ White still 5th. David Rasmussen and Colby Hibbard completed as they work in turn number 3 and 4. Great battle in the top 3 here with Gilson, White, and Frezzo as they're nose to tail through turn number 3 and 4. They're following each other right up to the top side of the racetrack and back down. Oh, and Gilson stumbling down the front straightaway here. Tony Frezzo going to take full advantage and trying to get to the lead. Francis White got there before he did, though, so Francis White to the point, and Gilson is off the pace down the back straightaway in the 22J. So the bid for 3 in a row is going to end right here, and Jared Gilson is going to take it to pit road, and a tough break for him as they work it down the front straightaway with Francis White in control. Lap number 4, 22 of Gilson goes down. Now it's Francis White at the head of the field as they work it down the back stretch into turn number 3 and 4. Down to the line, Frezzo trying to reel him in as they work it up off of turn number 3 and 4 as David Rasmussen has cleared Collin Bauter for position number 3. Bauter back to 4th with OJ White still 5th. As the top 2, Francis White, Tony Frezzo within about 2 car lengths of one another here as they go into turn number 3 and 4. Back down to the stripe, Francis White and Frezzo in a battle for the number 1 spot. Tony again chasing that track championship. If he could get it, it would be his second. In the last 5 seasons, he got the title in 2021. Francis White got the title here in 2023. As they work down into turn number 3 and 4, David Rasmussen has cleared Collin Bauter for the number 3 spot. He'll look to go after the top 2 as they bring it down to the line. Lap number 7 up on the scoreboard. And Frezzo chipping away at that lead. He's got it down to about 2 car lengths down the back straightaway. White knows that Tony Frezzo is good here at this racetrack, but Tony Frezzo knows that Francis White is equally as good. That's why they're both former track champions here as they work it down across the line. Lap number 8 up on the leaderboard. We're halfway home. Francis White has not won here in the Thundercar division in quite some time as well, as he works it into turn number 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway. It's been since June 14th of last year since Francis White went to victory lane. Last time Tony Frezzo was in victory lane was July 11th of this year. As they bring it down to the line one more time, Frezzo stalking the 60 of White into turn number 1 and 2. Can't quite get to the back bumper. White just a little bit stronger up off the corner. David Rasmussen still there in third, with Collin Bauter, O.J. White, and Colby Hibbard completing your field. As they work in turn number 3 and 4, we'll have 10 on the board, 5 more to go. And Frezzo doing everything he can to run down the race leader, but Francis White has been strong. We got 5 to go. It's been a great battle up in front all race long since Francis White got the lead on lap number 4, and a tough break for Jared Gilson earlier tonight, as we will have another new winner. But Tony Frezzo wants to get his 3rd win of the year. Francis White trying to get back to victory lane in well over a year. We've got 4 laps remaining. Frezzo drove it deep into turn number 1 that time, but again loses some time coming up off of corner number 2 and down the back straightaway. White in command of it as they head up into turn number 3 and 4, and the White family is praying for this one to go green. As they come down to the line this time by, we will have 3 laps remaining. Francis White to the point. Tony Frezzo still right there. He is within a couple of car lengths, and again gets into the corner really good, but Francis White coming off the turn is a lot stronger down the back straightaway. We'll have 2 laps left to go. And Francis White trying to hold on, and Tony Frezzo giving it everything he can into turn number 3 and 4. Handling looks like it's starting to go away just a little bit as they cross the line this time by. Lap 13 on the board, 2 to go. 2 laps remaining. Lap car in front of the race leader with Colby Hibbard. We'll see what happens as he hit the back straightaway. Tony Frezzo about 5 car lengths back of the leader. Not sure if it's going to happen or not. Hibbard stays right to the inside lane. He's going to stay in front of the 60 of White as they come down across the line this time by. White flag in the air for Francis White. White will sneak by up on the top side. Now he's got nothing but clear racetrack in front of him. Tony Frezzo is going to have to wait for a miracle to happen here if he wants to catch Francis White, because I don't think it's going to happen. Down the back straightaway, checkered flag is waving, and Francis White works it into turn number 3 and 4. First win since June 14th of last year. Francis White is back in Can-Am victory lane, and we're going trackside.